And hello, everyone. What's up? Welcome to FSP. This is episode I don't know what, and thank you all for being here tonight. This is on the eve of what would you call it? Like crossover console cross-platform day, where many are saying will mark the in history of gaming as the day things changed forever. I don't know if we'll go that far, but it was kind of an interesting day yesterday as we had multiple launches happen. Where you have Gears of War Reloaded launching on PlayStation, and you have Helldivers 2 launching on Xbox, which is pretty crazy to see. So we're going to talk some about that stuff and more. But thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all. Fuzzy's rolling in here in a little bit, but we do have two of the OGs here to get us started. The one and only Space Cadet himself, rocking the military cut, is the one and only Jasper. What's up, Jasper? How you doing, bro?
Uh, Going pretty good, I guess. Just having fun, living life. Playing some 2042 a little bit, trying to get some skins, but don't really want to put too much time into it because then I don't want to get kind of battlefielded out before the new one comes
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah, I tried launching Battlefield 2042 because I wanted to do that, and then I played it and I was like, "Holy shit, this feels so different." Like it's not bad or anything.
That's
It's
what I
just
said
like I
last
don't
week,
even know if
bro.
I want to get into it, because
Yeah.
it's like so different that it's like it was throwing me off a little bit. But yeah, man, it's still a good time. But yeah, you've been busy, I guess, not doing too much gaming, right? You said
yeah,
that you didn't even remember that Gears launched.
yeah. I just saw like the Digital Foundry video, like I think it was today or maybe yesterday, or whatever. I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was coming out. I forgot about that.
Did they did you actually watch that video?
No.
Okay. Fair enough. Right on, man. And we got the one and only Pong Soul here as well. What's up, Pong?
Nothing much. Slid in 2 minutes ago. So I'm just getting my bearings straight after a nice long day of work and a bunch of other stuff going on. But yeah, no, great to be here. Glad I could make it. That was in doubt for a little bit, but we made it happen. So I'm here, Captain. And great that you got your voice back, ma'am. I'm glad you're not sicky poo anymore and that you can take the chair back. And Jasper, of course, awesome to see you, brother. And yeah, can't wait till Fuzzy gets here. But yeah, no, I'm in the no game zone, but I did get in a couple matches of Gears Reloaded, and started the campaign again for the thousandth time or whatever. But it 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 feels great. It's just Gears.
Yeah.
The bitching and complaining has already started again, which is awesome. Um, especially for the people who haven't played before or are new to the series. There's even some old OGs bitching and complaining about the shoddy. I mean, the Nasher. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Let's all like listen. Oh, this got to be modernized. They got to bring it. No, they really don't, man. They really don't have to modernize it. We don't have to modernize games to make you all feel better. We just really don't. If you don't want to play the old style games, don't play them. They put this version out simply for PS5 players to get them started on the Gears of War trilogy. That's all they wanted to do. They had to release it everywhere, but it's already been updated everywhere else. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. So, you know what? I can't wait for 2 and 3. I am sure it's in the works that they are going to bring those eventually, and I can't wait to see what they do with those, but this just feels right, man. And sure, d- does it still piss you off? Am I rusty as hell? Plus, I am almost 20 years older at this point, and I've lost some of my hand-eye coordination. Absolutely. Do I get rocked? Did I get rocked in the first match? Absolutely, I did. Like, my God, does it bring back the memories? And do I smile? Because I'm not playing ranked. I'm not going to sit there and go sweaty on this game. I'm not going to put the time into it like I used to. But is it cool to walk into a couple of the maps, that you know so well, that are just beloved, and you just get that old feeling again doing the roadie run? It's like the first time all over again doing the roadie run. Active reloads, that's another thing people are bitching about. Get the hell out of here. Just get out of here, man. It's just cool as hell. Stop being sweaty in every dang game that you jump into and then just enjoy the classics for what it is, man. Watching people get run over by the tram. Yo, it's just dope, man. And I fired up the campaign because I have to fire up the campaign. There is no loading screens, which is awesome. And it looks and feels just like the Ultimate Edition, but it's fantastic, man. It's just such an awesome feeling to jump back into it. So yeah, that's been pretty much it. A little bit of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but nobody wants to hear about that in 2025. It's still freaking amazing. I'm having a blast in that. But yeah, checked out some Gears Reloaded, and I'll be checking out some more Gears this weekend a little bit when I've got a little bit more time. But yeah, other than that, that's about it, man.
Yeah, right on, man. Yeah, I popped in Gears as well. I played a little bit on PC and a little bit on Xbox. My first thing I did was launch the campaign, just to kind of see the bells and whistles, see how it looks. Looks fantastic. The first thing I was noticing is the opening cinematics, how good they looked with the lighting and stuff. Be kind of like updated with everything, and yeah, the cinematic looked good. It jumped right into the campaign. I was like, yeah, this feels classic. I've played through this section probably like 20 times,
Right.
So it was like, this is fantastic. And then I popped in some multiplayer as well. And the first game I got, there was like a couple of Xbox PC logos. There was like a few Xbox logos, and then there was like 2 PlayStation logos.
PlayStation.
And it was just really crazy to see. I was in that lobby, and I had like 2 PlayStation guys, and then me who was on Xbox PC in that match, and then somebody else on the Xbox console, like on the same team and stuff.
Yep.
And the PlayStation guy, one of them, like his first round, he got like 23 kills. Like he's a Gears vet. Like this isn't his first time playing Gears, that's for sure. Right?
You know that. I got in a couple of the rookies, and the PlayStation guy, they were getting hammered. Like I was bad, but I was like looking at that, I was like, okay, all right, we got newbies in here. It's just
my first round I did horrible. Like I didn't get a kill or down or anything. My first round.
No.
The next round I was up there with that other guy. Like I did okay. I had like ended up finishing off with like 8 kills or something. We ended up winning 2 out of 3, and then we ended up playing another man. I just forgot how good the maps are from the OG Gears. Just classic layout with the pickups and the you got the frag pickups, you got the torque bow, just awesome shit, man. So, and it's so gruesome too when you get that guy that sneaks up on you and chainsaws you in half. It's like, ah, damn it. I still got the Nasher frustration too, like I always have, where I miss 5 shots in a row and then some guy just goes and one shots me, but it is what it is with that. That's always been a thing. But yeah, man, it's it is cool to see that many different people on different platforms playing Gears at the same time, right? And yeah, and like you, I think we're gonna get a 2, and I think we're gonna get a 3 eventually.
For sure.
And then E-Day, I think everybody will be playing that together too next year.
Yep.
So that's the one I'm curious what they're all gonna tweak or change and how they're gonna balance and all these other kind of things, because this is gonna be like the first big Gears after Rod Ferguson left.
Well,
right? So,
I'm assuming it'll be closer to the original as opposed to like 4 and 5, like playstyle wise, just because it is in the past.
But Gears 5 was very like, they had a lot of content and like different things going on, whereas like Reloaded just seems more of a simplified, toned down multiplayer experience. Just got, here's your modes, pick through the main characters, your characters, and there you go. You know what I mean?
I forgot what the mode was in 5 or whatever that everyone like kind of latched onto there. It wasn't like, it was the one where you like ran through like the bases or whatever, and it took like 30 minutes for me. I forgot what the mode was called, but you played like side characters or whatever. And they add that back because that was real popular for them.
I forget. And I'm curious about Horde, what they're gonna do with that as well, because that's been a Gears staple for a long time now. So yeah, man, it's been kind of relishing Gears. And then other than that, I've been playing a shit ton of Madden. I'm in football mode.
Nice.
But a chunk of my football spirit was just traded away to the Green Bay Packers today, as the Cowboys cowboyed it up traded away possibly like one of the top 5 defensive players in the NFL. I don't know where different people would rank them different positions, right? But I think top 5 is pretty agreeable among everybody that Micah Parsons is a top 5 defensive player in the NFL. Traded him away. Got a couple first rounders and a defensive tackle back, a pretty good defensive tackle, but yeah. Second massive, crazy Dallas trade in 2025.
Jerry Jones.
You just got to do some crazy baseball trade, I guess, and then
yeah,
the trifecta.
Well, we don't. Yeah, so for the Rangers, shout out Rangers, we have a pretty bad team this year based on injuries, but we had like the 2 best pitchers in baseball, which is just like doesn't happen. You don't have like 2 Cy Young contenders on the same team and then end up like sub 500. But that's been the Rangers this year, although we just lost one of them for the rest of the season to injury. So that's the Rangers for you. But it'd be like us trading away DeGrom or Eovaldi, right? But we got more than sports to talk about here, folks. We got games to talk about. And what most of the gaming scene has been talking about is Helldivers 2. Because it has seen, surprise, 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 launch it on Xbox, you get this Halo crossover going. And what happens? Record-breaking numbers for Helldivers 2 after it's already been out over a year now. It's smashing its own records, breaking, I think yesterday, it was breaking over 500,000 concurrent players across all platforms, right?
Yeah.
And somebody had done the math, I think, on the day before that when they had already been peaking around like 400 or something. And there was like a certain amount on PC that because they could see for Steam, right?
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. It went from 56,000 players like Tuesday to yesterday it was at 167,000. So it jumped 100,000 players pretty much.
Yeah. So the rest would be made up between the consoles, right? And that's pretty substantial numbers. Now, we don't know exactly how the sales did, but suffice to say, if social media or YouTube or streamers or anything like that is anything to go by, the game's selling pretty well on Xbox right now. Pretty damn well. And I think this kind of spells even more collaborations potentially, or justification for PlayStation to keep going in this direction after this successful launch. Also seeing
no, Mav, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Oh, because people have been downplaying it. That's right.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean it. It's just a game as a service. Of course, it makes sense.
Oh, okay.
It's yeah.
Right.
This doesn't mean anything for any of the other titles.
It's funny because like beforehand, if you would have said that, like a lot of those same people would have said like, "Oh, they don't need to launch on Xbox," or "It doesn't make sense to launch on Xbox."
Because Xbox players don't buy games.
Right. Exactly. That's what they said.
They're ignoring that. They're ignoring what they say there now, though, because now there's proof that people bought Helldivers 2. So that doesn't get brought up. Now it's just, oh, yeah, of course. It makes sense. Of course. It's multiplayer games. It's right up Xbox's players' alley. The same shit we were saying. But yeah, now, yeah, it totally makes sense.
Besides the petty PlayStation enthusiast that is always trying to downplay anything Xbox related, there has been a lot of positivity actually coming from this as well, as you're seeing a lot of players being like embracing this. PlayStation Helldivers players have been helping Xbox gamers get into the game.
Gamers gaming stuff. Holy shit!
Who would have thought it could work?
Holy shit, man! It's never been done before. We've never had any crossplay. Who would have thought that people like to play together?
Yeah. And it's funny. It's funny too. I remember us saying, that this would have been a great game for them to have launched, day and date on Xbox because like the style of game that it is, and they didn't do it, and a lot of people were being like, well, Xbox gamers don't buy games, blah, 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 all that shit.
It would have been even bigger at launch because like you saw it when it first came out on just PC and PlayStation, like it was everywhere. Like if it was on all three, like it would have been even bigger.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I think this game is going to have legs for a long time. I think they're going to continue to do different kinds of collabs and different kinds of things and big updates, and it'll have these swells, you know. But it'll be something where like all the communities kind of game together now, just like they are in Gears, like we just talked about as well, and other games too, man. So yeah, I think this is yesterday was I was joking about it in the intro, kind of marking this like the date of official date of change where like Xbox and PlayStation almost had a trade of sorts, you know, of IP launching on each other's systems. Um, it does mark, I think, the way things are going to be more so than not. I don't think everything day and date is going to be like launching everywhere for either system all the time, you know. But I think this will lead more evidence for PlayStation and for their money guys to put that pressure on to release more games on Xbox. There's some that think more announcements are coming sooner than later. There's some that thinks something like a Spider-Man game or Days Gone or something like that may be announced sooner than later as well. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But I think the writing's on the wall, proof's in the pudding that this is going to happen. What have you noticed from besides the shenanigans going on, Pong? Do you think that this is leading Xbox and PlayStation to work together even more in the future?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm under the opinion that slowly but surely, that things are moving in that direction. And I think that every example of success that comes out moves in that direction. Does that mean that every game would sell like gangbusters on Xbox and PlayStation? No, but the big ones, certainly. Again, I don't think Sony, I mean, again, I don't think like if they're truly being honest with themselves, if they thought they were thinking about putting Spider-Man, or if they're thinking about putting God of War over on Xbox, they know those games will sell on Xbox. And for all the people who say it's too small of a base to care, bullshit. Again, nobody that ports their game expects 10 million copies to be sold over on the ported system. It doesn't matter how big it is. Nobody going to Switch 2 right now. Sure, they want 10 million copies, but they know how the Switch Nintendo players are in general, and they don't buy in those kind of bulk. Only first-party Nintendo games get that. So nobody that ports games to other systems think, oh, God, we're just going to double or triple the amount of people who bought this. No. It's about an easy moneymaker. And so when they see this kind of success, and they do see, despite what some people would lead you to believe, that, of course, Xbox players have money and they buy games as well, right? Just, again, they don't have to spend money on first-party games. We buy more third-party games over on Xbox because we don't have to pay for those first-party games all the damn time. So they see this and they go, absolutely, I think this inches them in directions if they're thinking about certain games. Again, Days Gone is another good one. They expecting to sell 2 million copies of Days Gone when it took forever to sell on PlayStation and they called it an abject failure? No, of course not. Right? They're not expecting that. People who have this idea that this costs, this absorbent amount of money to port over to Xbox, I don't know what year you guys are living in. Like, this is just, it's crazy talk. The systems are closer than ever together. They start out on a PC. Yes, you have a specific dev kit for the PlayStation. Yes, the PlayStation 5 has different architecture in certain ways than the Xbox, but overall, it's the same kind of system, right? It's again, anybody who's in tech has been talking about this. It doesn't cost a gazillion dollars. So yeah, I think this is a huge success. And I think collaborations in the future with crossovers are definitely on the table right now. Down the road for certain games that they want to do. Do I think Sony is going to just suddenly wake up and say, yeah, we're just putting No, of course not. We talked about this a billion times. It's going to be a very slow process for them.
Yeah.
But I think that this type of success is proof to them that they can make money on Xbox. And that's all you need for the shareholders. That's all you need for somebody like Hiroki Totoki to start thinking about greenlighting a couple more ports. That's all you need. And again, like you said, Mav, take out the vocal minority of this community who are just a-holes, right? That claim the game all the damn time. You look at what's happening, and again, the Helldivers community is amazing. We've talked about this since the beginning. Again, for anybody who doesn't know, played it on PC day one, right? Was in there when it started out. It's grown tremendously. They've fought their way back through troubles, all this stuff. But the one thing that we always talked about that remained consistent was their social media marketing team are geniuses. That game itself is set up as a self-marketing machine because the clips are all amazing because that's what happens nonstop in the game. And then you build this strong community who believe in the democracy message that they formulated, and it becomes that cult phenomenon that so many people try to capture and so many fail. They have got that. So now you've got this base of players who will always come back for more, man. Even if they go play other games, like we saw with the PC side of things, like Jasper just brought up, it was averaging whatever 30,000 a day, 40,000, which is really great for how long it's been out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was nothing. But then all of a sudden they announce Halo ODST crossover. They announce Xbox players arriving. They do the whole, we got the reserves coming in, let's go. All of a sudden, the main core of that community that are all gamers got fired up. Everybody started posting again. Everybody excited for the Xbox players coming in. I saw people giving praise because the Xbox players, I forget the new faction name off the top of my head, the Alien faction. One of the harder factions, though, in that game. They were praising Xbox because the Xbox people just jumped right in there to save New Alexandria, which, of course, harkens back to Halo. And I saw all the Halo dudes jumping down on the feed going, yeah, you name a city, Alexandria, we got some PTSD. We're going to come save it. We don't care how rough it is. We're going to come save it. So they were just like, that kind of community engagement, you can't put a price on it. Okay. You just can't. That is natural. And then, like you said, Mav, I saw all the posts from people just on the Xbox side going, hey man, PlayStation players, PC players helping us out, getting us up to speed. Had never touched this game before, had no idea what it was doing. Holy cow, up to speed quickly because everybody in there is great. Yo, they got something special. Arrowhead is a special development team. I think down the road, if Arrowhead is making that next game, whatever that next game they talked about that they want to make, going multi-plat, I think that even if Sony decides to jump in and help Arrowhead again with development costs or would partner with them, I think it might still just come day and date to Xbox at this point. I think Sony would be like, yeah, drop that shit over on Xbox. Their players know you now. They obviously enjoy your games. We're going to make some more extra money off of them. Go ahead and drop that day and date in there, and we're not going to hold that back. I think that's certainly another possibility out of this, but I think that this opened up some doors, Mav. It's not going to be everything. It's not going to be a flood. No, we're not getting everything over here on Xbox, but I just think it definitely weakened the resistance a little bit more, whatever resistance internally there is. I think this shows up very well.
Yeah. I mean, it's refreshing to see that kind of conversation actually on social media as opposed to the usual shit. You know what I mean? Oh, you shouldn't even bother putting this game over there. What the hell's the point? Nobody's gonna buy it anyway. Like, come on, like let's all just fucking game together, right? Like PlayStation gamers don't even like shooters. Why would they even bother putting Gears over there on PlayStation? They don't like
ponies
shooters.
Are now boomer grandmas. This is great.
Exactly. Well, I just need to put down Candy Crush and then come over there and play some Helldivers 2 with my grandson. Now that Xbox is on it, he can join me. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, hey, Fuzzy, what's up, man? How's it going, dude?
Oh, it's going great. Glad to be here with you guys. Sorry for running a little bit late, but just hearing about how well Helldivers 2 is doing on Xbox.
Yeah. Breaking records, man. That swell of gamers are excited to be diving back in and hell jumping down onto the surface to join their brothers in arms of different platform nations to take on the aliens and the robots. To save the planets for democracy. All in for democracy.
The best was the short clip. I don't know if you guys saw it, with somebody had clipped in the Hellgast welcoming the ODST to the battlefield. Like, that's crazy, bro. Like,
Yeah.
again, a PlayStation IP skin welcoming an Xbox skin to the battlefield, brothers in arms. It was great. It was great.
Yeah.
I love it. This is the stuff that we can get with this movement, right? This is the stuff that would never have been possible, you know, just even at the beginning of the generation. Nobody would have thought this would have been possible, but here we are. And just some of these things, not everyone's going to make sense, but this one just made so much sense, and it's
Yeah.
freaking fantastic. Really.
Jasper, you've
They
been
just need some Beavis and Butthead skins, and then
Yeah,
perfect.
Beavis and
Perfect.
Butthead. Maybe we'll
Perfect.
get some
Family Guy. Get some
yeah.
Family Guy in there. It'll look totally great.
Yeah, 100%. You know, what
Need
artist
Stewie
can
running
we put?
around.
What female artist skin can we put in there? Get like a Dua
Taylor
Lipa
Swift.
skin and Helldivers, Taylor Swift going. You know what I mean? It'd be selling a shit ton. Let's go. Eminem, put Eminem in there.
Yeah.
You know,
We need the Kelsey and Swift. We need the proposal skins.
if they
And
had
then
like
eventually the wedding skins.
if they had like an Adam Sandler skin and he's just wearing fucking like sweatpants and like a sweatshirt
No.
going on the fucking planet, like,
No.
I would buy the shit out of that. Like, I'm just saying, you pull out a fucking golf club and Happy Gilmore or some fucking shit, or you got some Waterboy moves. He starts tackling things. I would buy that. You know,
No, you're the problem.
no, only for a select few. Adam Sandler. I'd buy an Adam Sandler skin. I don't think it's happening at all. Jasper,
Yep.
now I know you've actually been spending time on the actual space stations where this game takes place.
Yeah.
But now that you're back here on Earth, you've had a chance to observe some of the ramblings going on social media about the forces joining together. This is like a joint ops thing. Like, to put it in your perspective, this is like the Air Force and the Navy and the Marines working together in a joint operation now, right? Where these maybe talk shit about each other a little bit here and there, you know, but now you got to work together to save humanity from these alien scum. Have you noticed a lot more democracy among the people and all for one for all mentality going on?
I mean, I've definitely seen like a lot of the memes and stuff and the content that people were remaking again. I don't even know what the fuck that question was that he asked, but
I don't either.
But yeah, I've definitely seen a lot more content and stuff that people are making. Like I saw one where it was like the Starship Troopers, where it was like the new cadets coming in. It was all like Xbox faces or whatever, and then like the PlayStation and the PC guy are like, "Welcome in, new recruits" or whatever. Like, I've seen stuff like that. But I think at the end of the day, like how Pong was saying, that at the end of the money talks, and PlayStation sees this, Microsoft sees this, that when you can put your game on multiple places, you're going to get more sales, you're going to get more money. And since games now cost $800 million to make, they want that extra money, and they're going to take the time to port those games, especially if it's a multiplayer game where they know that they can sell you skins and other additional content and make it a live service game. They're going to get more revenue over time.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the start where Sony's like, hey, if we make a only multiplayer game, or it's a big multiplayer IP, like maybe we do start just putting that day one on all platforms.
Yeah. You know, I've been of the mindset where it's like, I understand the business of exclusivity, right? For so long, about how it was important, why it was important to sell the consoles, right? To grow the player bases, you know, create fandom, create these communities, drive people to the storefronts, all that stuff. I understand the history of the industry and exclusivity and gatekeeping things to these platforms for the purpose of growing the platforms, right? But it seems we've come across this bridge now to where that is not the sole focus of these platform holders anymore, whereas it is now more about just getting as many players as you want, as you can, because really the console market has reached its peak as far as new players, right? Now, back in the PS2 era, like, you had 200 million. How many PS2s got sold? More than anything else, right? Like, PlayStation isn't reaching those numbers again. You know, even at the best they can possibly do. Nobody is. So if your biggest chance of success user wise is lower than your past history, you're not really growing as a company, as opposed, so you have to try and make more money off of your users, right? Which is what we've seen them doing, re-releasing games and all this kind of stuff. But now with them being open to launching on Xbox, like Xbox has been open to launching on PlayStation, that is increasing the amount of people that can get access to the games, which is, from my perspective, in turn, potentially better for the games and the franchises, right? If their user base doesn't just completely abandon ship and say, okay, we don't need PlayStations anymore, or we're just going to buy everything everywhere else, then there's really no harm done with this, right? It's only benefits gamers, in my opinion. What were you going to say, Jasper?
I was just gonna say, like, I don't think exclusivity is necessarily the goal of these companies anymore. It's more like time within the ecosystem or time within whatever product they're making. They're fighting for time. If they can keep you in that service or product or whatever as long as possible, they get more data and they get more money, and that's all they want.
And for me, it's like I've been in the mindset of like exclusivity, and just from a gamer perspective, like, now I understand the business of it in the past and why it was important and stuff, but like, what does it do for me personally when I'm playing a game? Absolutely nothing, right? Like, it had no intangible value to me when I'm playing a game that other people can't play it. Now, over time, as the business model changes and we're seeing games that used to be exclusive, like Gears of War Reloaded, now on PlayStation, when I play Gears of War, is it detracting my experience whatsoever that other people can play that game? No. It's the same experience I would have had if it was exclusive, right? So for me personally, like, whole exclusivity thing, like, doesn't bother me whatsoever. But I've still seen some, like, clinging to that. Probably the wrong move for the companies to put games in other places and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, for me, I don't know. I understand the business side of the value of it in the past and how it's grown the industry. I just think we're past that now. And if games launch everywhere on every platform, that'd be the best thing for me. So, that's what I'm going to fight for, man. Because shit, I don't like having to buy consoles or anything to have to play one game. And in that case, also, you're not really benefiting that ecosystem too much either. How many PlayStations that are sold at near cost to gamers that just play one game, right? Now, if it's like a Call of Duty, if it's a Call of Duty game or a microtransaction game, yeah, that's a big benefit, I think, to that storefront, right? But if it's like a one-off game or whatever, like, for me, it'd be Gran Turismo. I'm not spending any fucking money in Gran Turismo. Like, so what does PlayStation gain from me long term by owning a PlayStation to play Gran Turismo? Not really much. So, if they would put that game on PC, I would buy it. If they put the game on Xbox, I'd buy it. And they would have made about the same amount for me, roughly, as they would, selling me a PlayStation and one game, right? So, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see. I saw you shaking your head a little bit, Pong, earlier when I was talking about exclusivity. This is an argument.
You already know.
Well, it's
ongoing. It's ongoing.
Yeah, this is a... this was a debate. I was actually having... I was watching Colt and Mag, and I was in the chat. And Brisket was there, and we were just having a gentleman's debate, like a little bit about this, because he was
will do that.
He's talking about the shout out to him, man, and like, I'm not trying to debate without you here,
no,
but like his take was about there's the evidence of exclusivity benefiting gamers has been something that's been there for generations, Um, and my thing is, I think that's more on the company side than it is necessarily the gamer side, business side. But yeah, for the sake of the time, yeah, to make the justification of the consoles being needed, I think that made sense. I just don't think we're in that same place anymore. And for me, it's like Gears is a perfect example because my experience playing Gears doesn't change the fact that it's not exclusive now. So, like for me, it's like, yeah, does that affect anything? Does it if I pop in Forza Horizon 5? Does it is my experience
It doesn't,
lessen?
but there's still an argument to be made, right? And again, development has changed also as
Yeah.
time has gone on, right? There is an argument to be made that yes, there is a high likelihood that if exclusivity were or remains a thing, that the quality of game that you get up front, Mav, is better than if they do have to try to develop for multiple systems. I
Have
still
we
think that
seen
argument can be
that
made.
this generation?
Listen, well, I
Even
mean, you can look at PlayStation's, you can look at the Nix's ports of some of the games, right? That had problems on PC.
but we
You
can
can
also
make
look
the
at their own
argument that-
first party games that had problems on PlayStation when they only launched on PlayStation.
Well, right, but you can also say that they haven't had those problems, right? And if you go back to last generation, you can definitely see again, no game's gonna be perfect nowadays. Again, that's why I started this by saying now the development cycle is effed, right? It has changed, right? And I've said this multiple times. They've effed themselves with the development cycle. Whatever they did, okay, they have butchered what used to be a very, I mean, I don't know how you would call it efficient, because obviously we've heard the turmoil stories inside studios back in the day that were trying to pump out games. But let's just say they got the games out the freaking door. They to the point where we're getting trilogies in one generation, right? So again, whatever they've done to that cycle, they've effed it all up, right? Now we hear
that's from all
optimization is a problem
right.
with UE5. Right. So that's why I preface this, because things have changed overall as well. So I'm just saying there is still an argument to make to counter your I don't receive anything intrinsically as a gamer from having it from having it exclusive. I think that there's still an argument made that there is still a good chance that the quality of that game, if it was exclusive to one device, that they could just make it for that device first. I'm not even saying holding it exclusive forever. I'm just saying day one exclusivity, that you get a better experience as a gamer than having them spread what is already a very, very tight development cycle, even more so amongst other platforms. Because again, as much as I said, it's easier nowadays to do that because the systems are very similar. It's still not just a snap of the fingers and it's done. Okay, that's not it. There is actual work that has to be done. So that's my only argument with that, outside of obviously the business stuff, which again we've talked about a billion times. I still think that there is an identity to be made around exclusives for whatever your brand you're talking about, but that's the only point I want to push back.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of shaking my head, because I still think that you could reasonably say that I get a better experience, or should get a better experience, if the dev team's putting all their focus on one platform. That's all.
I still disagree with that too, because
Yeah.
I think in the past multi-platform games have also launched in better states than current gen. I mean, you could look at Rockstar put out
for that, though.
3 or 4
teams were built
games
for that.
multi-platform in one generation, or you can look at Mass Effect, right? Or from BioWare.
But what if Rockstar? What if Rockstar only had to focus on one? Can you imagine what they could do?
Could it? I mean, how could it have gotten much better? You know what I mean?
It could have. There's always better. They could have had 60 frames potentially.
I don't know, man.
I'm just saying. I'm saying I get it, Matt, because it's an argument that we will never know, the truth of what it was. I'm just saying, if you look at the history of where exclusivity started, yes, your point that it started to sell the consoles first, and that there was brand identity, and that's what everything was back in the day. You were absolutely 1000%, of course. But can I say that some of the exclusive games would have been as great on a Genesis if they had to also make it for the Super NES at the same time. I don't know. Again, because the Super NES had, but again, like I said, the tech was completely different back then. So now we're talking about completely different stuff. So it is kind of a just.
Yeah, I mean, there's also
I
It's a
don't.
tough question. Go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I don't necessarily think that a studio just focusing on one platform would make the game necessarily better. I think at the end of the day, it comes down to the developers themselves and making the game, optimizing it, and developing the product. And I think whatever's happened in the last 15, 10 years, whatever it is, it's just changed so much that the quality has went down because they're either adding stuff or the technology flow or however it is. Yeah, and like you could, I guess, to point a game out to your example, like Mass Effect 1 was an exclusive to Xbox 360, and 2 and 3 were multi-plat, and arguably 2 and 3 were much better than the first one.
2.
Well, I mean that.
Yeah.
I
mean, quality-wise and polish-wise.
But I mean, the really reason why, but had they had to force it onto PlayStation 3 when they were working with the cell processor, that's why it was an Xbox 360 exclusive. Had they tried to force it on there, can we say the quality would have been the same on the Xbox 360? I don't know. I mean, again, I don't know.
Yeah, but like in this day and age, though, all of them are like pretty much the same. So it's
right,
we're not having to battle those kind of same things.
I understand that.
Yeah,
I understand.
So
that.
and like also, there's something to be said about the amount of players that get access at launch and the potential success for a game, right? Whereas,
well, let me tell you, real quick, Matt, real quick.
Yeah.
I will differentiate. I agree because Steele and I have gone around with this too, right? Multiplayer games, generally speaking, no, you would not have a better experience by keeping it exclusive because you need more. The more players in a multiplayer game generally means the more fun you will have, and multiplayer experiences have to be grabbed out the gate. Otherwise, again, you can lose the entire community, and it doesn't matter what system you put it on. It's going to suck because there's nobody playing the damn game, right? So multiplayer experiences for sure, I think, would be better off if all of them were never exclusive and they all went multi-plat day one, right? I think many people you can get into a multiplayer game, the better. Single player games is really where I was talking about.
Well, so but even with that, like, okay, so let's say like Xbox, like let's use last generation as an example, Xbox One. Let's say they put, $300 million into a game like Quantum Break. Paid for exclusivity deal or something, fund the development of it, whatever, right? Okay, single player game experience. Now the game only has, with the platform that it's launching on, a certain audience that it can sell to, right? And maybe you're going to get a couple million sales max because the potential sales for that console is kind of capped out at what it is. Like right now, if you take away PC, if you only launch on the Series X and S, then you're only selling to fans of that genre, that kind of game, that have to own that platform, right? And that's been the PlayStation model, which they have a much larger user base, obviously. But if you're developing single-player games, and they cost all this amount of money, and your potential audience is only this amount of players, then there's less chance you're going to get a return for that game. But if you sell the game to PC players and also PlayStation players or whatever, even if it's a single player game, you have a much larger chance for that game to have success and to actually cause a return on your investment, and which can also lead to you deciding to allocate more resources into the development of it and also potentially have enough success to justify sequels and keep those studios alive as well. So those are other benefits.
Where Enix learned that lesson.
Yeah, that we can look at as potential benefits to gamers in the new era, right? We've seen games like Call of Duty grow to what they were because they were multi-platform, right? Like if if a brand like Call of Duty, or maybe we can even use Madden, for example, or whatever, they're only going to reach a certain amount of gamers if they're only launching in one place, right? So this allowed these brands to grow to what they become.
But Nintendo's pretty, so.
Yeah, Nintendo's an anomaly, man.
I'm just saying, like, again, all of those things still apply to Nintendo too, though. Like,
Yes.
think about what Nintendo could do. Like, Nintendo's even being resistant right now, we're hearing, to sending out development kits to allow third parties to make more games on their system.
Mhm.
Like, I like Nintendo would make a bazillion dollars, Mav, if they put their games everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And they still don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they also
Again,
make a
there's-
bazillion dollars because their Switch costs $50 to make.
Exactly.
Well, no, and Jasper, that's always the argument.
Yeah.
It's the hardware, and I get that too. But I'm just saying, like it's always going to be business wise, right?
Yeah.
Business wise, there is no argument. You will make more money putting your games everywhere, right?
Yeah.
That I mean, or at least increase the chance.
Zelda, Pokemon, Mario Kart would be the
nothing.
biggest fucking games of all time. If they
Right,
didn't come
right,
out.
exactly. But Nintendo holds tight. Why? Because
Yeah.
exclusivity still does mean something, and because they would have to change how they develop games, right?
Yeah.
They would have to change how they develop games
And-
and what that would mean for the teams.
And I think
So,
if
anyways,
you're making a 90% profit margin on the hardware too, it also changes the way you think about
Sure,
that.
could,
uh,
but shareholders don't care. They would make a bazillion dollars, man, putting their games everywhere.
Yeah.
Imagine it.
I kind of think too, like them not like them specifically, if they put
Yeah.
their games in other places, they would be held to a higher standard again, because those games would be
Possible.
judged against other games on those other hardwares, and so the lesser version would
Is the
always
best.
be on the Switch, and which would also
Mhm.
devalue the hardware itself, because people that are in love with it
Frame
would
rate-wise, yeah,
realize
yeah.
how much it sucks ass compared to the competition that's out there.
Sure.
And all of a sudden it's like, well, why am I buying these games on a Switch? And I'm just going to buy them
I
over
almost
here
think
'cause
that's
way
why they're
better.
resistant to the dev kits, Mav. I almost think that's why.
Yeah.
I almost think that they are now scared that they bumped up their hardware in power, right? And they've got all these bells and whistles that more games from third parties that show what modern games are will start to erode what they have, what their devs are allowed to pass out as current gen games. Like, now, again, I'm not here to argue about whether or not Nintendo games themselves are good or bad. Again, the fans have obviously chosen and say that they're good and that they're game of the year quality, right? I'm just saying it's weird that they're resistant to this now and saying, no, why don't you go ahead and put your game on Switch 1 and then we'll use backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, go use this 12-year-old hardware and try to put your game on there when they know most games nowadays can't be put on that shit. That's why they didn't have a huge amount of third-party big games. Anyways, sorry, I'm
You're good.
sidetracking. We got.
I
other
just,
stuff to
I
talk
mean,
about.
basically, just my whole point is at this day and age
Yeah.
today, like,
Yeah.
like I just don't find the benefit in exclusivity anymore.
Sure.
Right. For a gamer, from a gamer perspective. And
Well,
I would
good news is
argue
it's going away.
Yeah, I would argue it's kind of been that way for a long time, you know. And you know, the main reason for it was always from the business platform side, not for the game experience, really, right? So, I'm relishing in this new day and age, man. I push for everything to be Xbox Play Anywhere. You know, I want that. I want
you know how I feel about
you
that.
know, all the games launch everywhere. I think it's just cool to see that many more gamers enjoying these experiences. Fuzzy, do you have anything to chime in with the whole exclusivity conversation?
We didn't hear about Helldivers. We didn't hear. Fuzzy on
Did you
Helldivers.
play Helldivers
Yeah.
yet with the launch on Xbox?
Yeah, well, I played it on I played it on PC. I haven't picked it up on Xbox
Yeah,
as
yeah.
of yet. I'll probably hop back into it at some point. I've gotten bitten by the Diablo 4 bug again, so between that and Division 2, I'm still playing some
Leon,
old
though?
games. No, but when it comes to the whole exclusivity thing, like the bazillion dollars that Nintendo would make, it would just go to lawyers' fees to play whack-a-mole with the ROM sites and things like that. But I think at some point they do cave, because they are leaving a lot of money on the table. That at some point when this multi-platform stuff, expands between Xbox and PlayStation, they're going to be left holding the bag when it comes to some of their older IPs. Like, I'm not the biggest Nintendo fan. I've always been a Sega kid, but the thing I hate about the Switch 2 that I bought, and I'm regretting my purchase at this point, there are certain games that I would love to buy for it that I can only get through the subscription service. Like, big difference with Game Pass, at least I can buy the game and own the game, but I want to, buy Mario, Super Mario Brothers 3 or something like that. Nope, I gotta just pay the $19.99 a year to access it, which is the dumbest thing in history right now. It's like I never owned a original NES. I bought the mini Super Nintendo for the boys back a while ago, which I think I have Mario World on there. But I don't feel like digging that thing out of storage at this point. I would rather just have it on my Switch. And they're like the biggest ones that don't believe in really sharing games other than like in a family playing kind of thing, which they do have some of that sharing stuff between devices, like almost like a temp card type of thing. But I don't know. I think they have less than a generation to get it figured out on this exclusivity thing. Like I get what Pong is saying on the benefits, but we haven't seen any of that this generation. Like the biggest problem with Xbox exclusives earlier in this generation is that none of them came out with performance mode. That was like the dumbest thing on their part, or as far as the priority that they put. They put it more so on the visuals. Hey, let's have it 4K, full 4K native, and only do 30 frames, only to come out with a 60 frame adjustment later for some of the games. Not all of them, because some of them did come out with performance from jump. But when it came to PlayStation, with their exclusivity aspect of things, is that they kept on hyping up Spider-Man 2, for example. And then I guess because it didn't move the numbers that they wanted, there's no, DLC like what we saw with the, 20 or Spider-Man 2018, or even if you look at like the spinoff with Miles Morales, are we ever going to get that Venom spinoff kind of thing? So they had all that time to focus on making the PlayStation version, and I guess the budgets of how they're doing their games is getting too big to, continue doing what they did the previous gen, where budgets are 300 million plus.
It's also
on a
taken
game
a long time for them to release their games too, Fuzz. Like their pipeline is abysmal because of those reasons, and that's only with developing for the one system. And they don't even have
they also canceled all.
They don't have a Series S and X situation. It's just PS5, right?
Yeah, and they canceled all those, games as a service types of deal, which that put them back even further behind the 8 ball as far as their production line. But yeah, just having the PS5. I mean, they have the PS5 Pro, which they can turn a few things up here and there, but it seems like even that, their own device, they're having a hard time with that pisser or PSSR or whatever. It seems like more times than not, it's been better for them to turn off that in the actual game of file, as opposed to pushing what people paid that extra money for on that device. So I don't know, maybe it's the new tech versus the new devs today aren't built the same kind of thing. I mean, you would think in-house hardware would be easier to develop for, because you have hands-on sooner and more direct knowledge or access to the engineers and whatnot, but it doesn't seem to benefit either platform. It seems like as long as you build a game great for PC, you kind of can figure out how to work the rest of it out, kind of thing. But yeah, I'm kind of glad we're moving into this blurred line between exclusivity and whatnot, because I mean, yes, I can afford to buy every device and buy the games that I want for that, but it's like it would be so much nicer to not have to do that, or knowing that, like, let's say there's a game that me and my wife want to play. She has her PlayStation. I'm not buying her a PS5 because she doesn't game that much to spend the extra money on a PS5. But if the game can be playable on, let's say, an Xbox One or a Series console and a PlayStation 4 and 5, and I only have to buy one copy for each, as opposed to, well, the other thing I could do is just have it where I buy the digital copy and then do game share between the device on the same platform. So between my PS5 and her PS4, or my Series X and then the travel Series S that we have, or something like that. I don't know. It just feels like it's more about being able to spend less to access the games, and in the grand scheme of things, I think they benefit more on that software as opposed to hardware. Although I do hate that might lead to some staleness on hardware, depending on if third party gets involved. Innovation usually comes from them reiterating on the next hardware, which it looks like Xbox is doing between the partnership with Asus and whatever the next Xbox generation console will be. Not sure what the PS6 is supposed to be. A lot of people mistakenly looked at the chipset that was supposed to be for the next Xbox and was like, "Oh, that's got to be the PS6." But I don't know. We'll see what the hardware landscape looks like down the road as far as innovation. But let everything be multi-platform, and I'll save more money that way.
Yeah, it's interesting. Things are changing, right? So we'll see how things continue to evolve and stuff, and over time, I'm just looking at things at the benefit of the gamer now, and like Xbox is my preferred ecosystem, not because the games are exclusive, but because the value they're providing to me. And more games coming out. We got Game Pass. We have more features that are consumer friendly, like the Xbox Anywhere, the cloud gaming aspect to it, and all these other kind of things are reasons that make me choose the Xbox ecosystem. Like, when just like I was talking about Gears, like, hey, yesterday I was playing it on the PC and on the Xbox, right? It's just simple to load it up wherever you are. I love that, man. And I think over time, that's kind of going to be where things go to where, and if that's the reality that we're in, then the boxes you're playing on don't necessarily matter as much, right? It's just about the experience you're getting when you're playing. Shout out to Mac22TH54 with the $5 super chat. Says, Pong. Nintendo sticks price close today at our stocks price closed today at $22.84. Sony Interactive Entertainment $28. Microsoft Xbox $509.84. Full disclosure, I own Microsoft Xbox stock. #whole slate. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, no, it's Microsoft, of course. Like, okay, no.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just
Biggest
my
company in the
point
world.
being is business wise, right? It would make sense for everybody to put their games everywhere. Right. That's never been in doubt. Like, again, there will be people who will argue that point, but I agree personally that, I think that, exclusives from PlayStation and from Nintendo both would sell like gangbusters everywhere if they put all of their games everywhere. So I just, that was my only point. And shareholders, Nintendo shareholders would love it. And their shares would be worth more because they'd be printing even more money if they put their games everywhere. So anyways, that was...
Yeah.
And another thing to kind of like wrap this up that we were talking about, I just thought of these two things. Like, the way that exclusivity kind of hurts gamers more so is like, if you look at Nintendo, they basically have a monopoly on their prices. They don't go down. It's like $70 games now all the time because that's the only place you can get them. So that's one way it hurts. And also, like, I feel like when devs put their games on multi-platforms, they kind of have to work more with different architectures and performance levels, so you get a better game overall, like optimized wise, because they have to work on if they take the time to actually
UE5 is proving that not a lot of devs are optimizing, bro, until the very end. So anyways, at least according to Sweeney. So
yeah, but you should get that theoretically,
yes, in the old dev pipeline, right? Again, yes.
So I want to get into a little bit of that actually, with Unreal, specifically. You touched on it last week a little bit, Pong. Mentioned about Unreal developers starting to complain a little bit more about it and stuff. Now I have high hopes because Halo's moving to Unreal, so fuck, like, I remember early on when everybody was saying every game needed to be fucking made in Unreal Engine 5, right? And there was just chomping at the bit. There was screaming at the Game Awards, I think, when Keighley was like, and this next game's made in Unreal Engine 5. The crowd was like, yeah, this next game's an Unreal Engine 5 game. It must be fucking awesome. I think that was just... And then it was the anime game. It was like Sandman, or that Sandman one or whatever.
Shout out to Infinite Umbra, by the way, the fanboy of Unreal Engine. He's doing a show right now.
It's
so
not just
the chat.
Yeah, shout out to Umbra. It's not just Umbra. I remember arguing with several different people. I remember specifically at the launch of Halo Infinite. And when we're actually playing, and I'm like, this was like right after the game launched. Like, this feels great. Like, they nailed the feeling of Halo. And then there's people like, yeah, but they should have done an Unreal 5. Maybe eventually they were right because of the pipeline, but maybe not, because now that we're seeing more and more stuff come out about issues, it's like, man, Xbox is lucky that they have the Coalition and Ninja Theory. I'll say that, because out of any developers, it seems like besides Epic themselves, they understand how to utilize Unreal Engine 5. But I was just kind of like doing some searching and stuff about like Unreal Engine 5 issues and stuff. And so I have an AI synopsis from Google.
Let's go, Maps using
yes,
AI. Everybody.
I'm using AI. I am embracing it. I have used some of the world's water resources for this. So
I love it, Map. I love it.
Go.
Welcome, sir.
All right. So according to Google, this AI overview of Unreal Engine 5. So we'll see how accurate this is.
This is hilarious.
Unreal Engine 5 faces widespread performance issues in released games, including stuttering, crashes, poor frame rates, and high hardware demands, even on high-end systems. These problems stem from the engine's complex new features, like Nanite and Lumen, which can cause performance issues if projects aren't built around them. Temporal anti-aliasing used to smooth graphics can also lead to visual artifacts like ghosting and blur, with performance-enhancing upscaling and frame generation further increasing complexity and latency. Performance and stability issues, stuttering and frame drops. Many of UE5 games suffer from noticeable stuttering and inconsistent frame rates, even on powerful hardware. Crashes. Some games built on UE5 have reported frequent crashes, contributing to a poor player experience. High hardware demands. The engine is very resource intensive, often requiring a powerful PC or reliance on upscaling technologies to achieve playable frame rates. Technical challenges with core features. Nanite. While designed to handle high detail assets efficiently, Nanite can cause performance problems if the project structure isn't optimized for it. It also has limitations such as the inability to handle translucent materials or deformable meshes, forcing the use of older, more complex methods. See, I didn't know that. We're learning something today. Lumen. The lighting system can produce noisy reflections that require a denoising process. At lower resolutions, this denoising can sometimes cause artifacts or a crawling appearance in reflections. Oh, here we go to visual artifacts and quality concerns. Oh, this is fun to read. Temporal anti-aliasing. TAA, a common technique to smooth out jagged edges, can result in ghosting, motion blur, and smearing, particularly on PC monitors. Oh, here, this one's interesting. This is something I've said for a long time. Lack of unique style. Some critics argue that the engine's push for photorealism results in a lack of artistic flair and can make games look generic and visually similar.
I think the East has proven this wrong. So, anyways.
Maybe. Well, with the anime colorful games and shit.
You can, like, there was that one, like, first-person shooter game that, like, everyone thought was real-life body cam footage or whatever. I think it was called Body Cam was the name of the game or whatever. And then, like, you can have, like, Japanese-style games that are kind of more realistic, too. So it's, like, it just depends on the art at the end of the day. Like,
yes, correct. That's what I'm saying. It's easy for everybody to use the same style because they can pull from all the pre-built stuff in Unreal. That's the thing, that they do have a ton of pre-built whatever. You need landscapes, you need buildings, whatever. They've got all that shit built. And I think a lot of developers take that shortcut, which does lead to a lot of Unreal games feeling the same or looking the same. But when you actually have a team that develops their own art style, Unreal can do whatever. Like it's already proven that it can do any type of style that you want. So I think that goes down to the devs themselves. So,
well, these next three are the most interesting for me. It's developer and studio challenges. Okay. Complex pipeline. Effectively utilizing UE5 requires developers to rebuild their pipelines around new technologies like Nanite, which many teams struggle to adapt to in time. Increased cost. To achieve decent performance, many studios rely on aggressive upscaling and frame generation techniques, which can increase development cost and technical complexity. And then this is the most interesting one for me. Loss of proprietary tech. Some studios are sacrificing their unique in-house technologies to adopt UE5, which could lead to a homogenization of game design.
CDPR.
Yeah.
They're doing it right now. Witcher 4 is going to be Unreal Engine 5. New Cyberpunk will be Unreal Engine 5. They moved away from the Red Engine, even though the Red Engine was freaking phenomenal, but whatever.
Yep.
I will say some of that was wrong because like you don't have to implement nanite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that is a major thing that causes performance issues. That in Lumen, because it's Lumen's like the ray
if you
tracing feature or
activate
whatever.
like nanite on Fortnite on PC, like
Yeah.
the performance, the frames per second goes from like 180 or something down to like a very inconsistent like 40s or some shit. I mean, it is crazy, like resource heavy, right? But like the thing is frustrates me with this stuff is like when UB5 was being promoted and revealed and marketed, right? Yeah. These are the things that are pushed forward to gamers face forward and also developers about the benefits of using it. How you're going to be able to utilize that, and it's going to save resources. It's going to save you time. It's going to save you this. It's going to save you that. It's going to make workflow easier. It's going to make all these things magic, right? Oh, all of a sudden you're going to have 1,000,000 times more pixels per thing, and it's not going to affect your performance at all, right? Well, the technology itself uses heavy resources, apparently, right? So if all things are considered, it seems like the whole UE5 thing, much like happened with UE4 and UE3, also before it, has led to kind of this thing where, hey, everybody needs to use it because it's the next big hottest thing, but also everybody ends up starting to have trouble, except for a select few. I remember famously back in the day, Dennis Dyack and 2Human. You remember that whole situation? He actually sued Unreal and Epic because amazing. Because of the lack of support that he ended up losing the lawsuit, I think. But overall, like there was a big lawsuit between that I forget the name of the developer.
It's Silicon Knights.
Silicon Knights. Thank you. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, of course.
About that game specifically.
I followed 2Humans development.
Much, bro. I was so pumped.
Dyack is a strange dude. Don't get it twisted too. Dyack's a weirdo. So he's got his own problems, right?
But
it wasn't
I'm just getting
on
into
his side. But the
fact that this is an arc that we've seen before, numerous iterations, right? And this is why I always kind of have the pushback at the beginning when all this like Unreal and everybody gets all hyped and stuff, and it's like, well, I've always kind of liked the studios having their own flavor with their own engines and their experts in-house that are masters at what they do. And like we're seeing with Helldivers 2, right? They're using some old-ass engine that was like nobody ever uses, and they fix it up to like run this game beautifully, right? Let me bring
in a quote from Sweeney here real quick, Mav, while you're doing this, because I'll just bring it in. And again, this is going to be from Sweeney, so he's going to protect his baby, right? I get it, but again, this is something we have talked about. And again, we've talked about it here, Steel and I, because Steel harps on this constantly about the optimization and that the developers are using way too many crutches these days to get by. So Sweeney has a different perspective, and it kind of falls in line with that. So I just wanted to bring this in. And shout out to X, formerly known as Twitter. When I search Unreal Sweeney, I get a lot of Sydney Sweeney, as well as Tim Sweeney, because everybody says Sydney Sweeney is Unreal. So it's amazing. It's amazing to see Sydney all over the feed. Anyways, so Tim says the main cause is the order of development. Sweeney said in a media interview after his Unreal, and shout out to Hazardor for posting this, by the way, too. This comes from Claus McGamer, something, I don't know, whatever. Anyways, small site, but there's been plenty of articles written about this, but shout out to Haz. The main cause is the order of development, Sweeney said in a media interview after his Unreal Fest keynote in South Korea. Many studios build for top-tier hardware first and leave optimization and low-spec testing for the end. Ideally, optimization should begin early before full content build-out. We're doing two things: strengthening engine support with more automated optimization across devices and expanding developer education so optimize early becomes a standard practice. If needed, our engineers can step in. Game complexity is much higher than 10 years ago, so it's hard to solve purely at an engine level. Engine makers and game teams need to collaborate. We're also bringing Fortnite optimization learnings to Unreal Engine so titles run better on low spec PCs. So obviously he's blaming the dev side. And this is something we've talked about. It's something that's very obvious.
Well, I don't disagree with him.
I mean, I think it goes both ways.
Well, it goes both ways. And again, Sweeney's going to be very
Yeah.
biased towards his baby. Again, he's going to protect his baby, right? But what I'm saying is we saw this in the Series S, right? This has been the argument for all the games that weren't able to get, 60 frames on Series S or weren't able to get a lock 30 on Series S. Anybody who knew anything about tech, right, outside of the fanboys who just blame the Series S and say it's worthless, it's a potato, said optimization. Optimize the fucking game and it'll run fine. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, 2 months later, all of a sudden the game will be running great on freaking Series S, right? Because they optimized, they went back, right? How many examples did we have of developers who had to go back? Baldur's Gate, Larian, right? We're having all those issues. Well, they went back and optimized so they could get it over on Xbox. And guess what happened? All of a sudden, all the other versions got better, right? So I think Sweeney is partly right, but obviously there's going to be two sides.
I mean, this is something that 3-Bits always said too, is like, no matter what, it's just the way the devs are, right? Is that when there's new tech, new hardware, no matter what it is, they're always going to push for the highest out there. So like when a new graphics card is announced, like a 5090.
If it was up to the devs, we'd only have 5090s.
Yeah, exactly. And then they work down from there. And but part of it also can be like, the magic of UE5, all these things. Just build your game, and all of a sudden you flip this switch, and all of a sudden your resources are going to be saved because of this new technology that we have here and stuff. And it's like, I think a part of the marketing push from that to like, it causes them to like kind of go overboard. And like the developers that are most experienced, I think, do know their boundaries of what to work with or how to work within the optimization along the way. But too many developers, and I don't think it's going to change, right? So like it comes down to expertise of working with the tools, no matter what engine it is. Like the better developers working with specific tools and engines are going to create better games within those tools and engines, right? And
that's kind of where I was going to say is like studios now, like if everything's going to UE5, like they're going to hire someone that has Unreal experience instead of like, if you just work on your own game engine, then we're going to have to hire someone, train him for however long it takes for him to learn this new game engine. Whereas if you just go to Unreal, you have thousands of candidates potentially to hire right away.
It is frustrating though when you see the engines out there, like look at the Decima engine. You know what I mean? Like look at what's the Snowblind? What's the one that Snowdrop engine? Like there's all these engines. Like what's Battlefield using? Battlefield 6? Frostbite. I mean, there's all these engines out there, and they all kind of create this unique experience for the gamers within them and stuff. And like it does, part of me thinks it does kind of suck that like something like UE5 has gone to become the de facto third party kind of like indie development platform, when it's not necessarily like something that is necessarily just going to be an easy home run for all these developers. I'd like to see more mix up. Like there was a while where it was like Unity, Unreal, then you had like, I remember when Crytek was trying to push the CryEngine as like a licensed engine as well.
And CryEngine used to have a lot of the problems that Unreal has.
Oh yeah, too. Right? They have.
Why can your game run?
Because the only ones that could really work, make it work, was Crytek. Right. So yeah, 100%. I understand, but like, I just love the diversity that's out there with the engines and the creativity of the developers. And it's just just because something is Unreal doesn't mean it's going to be great, and
correct.
It's interesting to see this at this point now, because we're later on in this generation, that these things are just now kind of being talked about more with the problems. Whereas we all had the problems, we all just blame it on the developers. But now it's like, okay, at this point, shouldn't everybody be kind of up to speed with how to optimize for this fucking engine was announced before this generation even started. You know, because we're like 5 years in this gen right now, so we'll see. By the time they finally get decent with it, they're gonna announce UE6. And then every game that's not on UE6 will suck, according to the mass gamers.
Yeah, UE6 will have some AI feature, and it's like, we have the power of AI to automatically optimize your game.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah,
just tell the computer to optimize it.
Yeah, that fucking RE engine is so good, man. Like, what does Sega use for their fucking Yakuza games and all that stuff? Like, they're able to pump games out like.
I think it's the Yakuza's engine.
Actually. Yeah, I mean, the speed that they're able to crank games out is insane, man.
Yeah,
like it's like every
Fuzzy,
year.
Go ahead. I haven't heard Fuzzy. Fuzzy, what do you got going on, brother? You've been silent here. What do you got about Unreal?
I've always looked at Unreal as it's at its best when the hardware moves to the next generation. Like UE4 games at the beginning of this generation were looking pristine.
Yeah.
The UE5 games at the beginning of just this generation, constant stutter. They weren't optimized, but it was still kind of in beta, or I look at it as beta testing. So when UE6 comes out for next generation, people that use UE5 will probably have a better performing game. Like it always seems like the hardware has to be a generation ahead of the engine when it comes to Unreal. Certain exceptions, Coalition seems to be the best to handle it. It looks like Ninja Theory's learned a lot. It's taken them a little bit longer to do the 60 frames aspects of things, but they've turned that engine into something that's almost like pure cinema as far as its visuals and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Unreal Engine is one of a dozen engines, and right now, at least for this generation, I don't really look forward to any game that announces it has Unreal, just for the fact that, all right, I'll play it on PC. I don't want to bother with it on console. An Xbox version, possibly if it's by one of their first-party studios, because it seems like they're more familiar than any other studio out there. Outside of that, it's like I'll wait until it's optimized on PC and then pick it up on PC. But I can't imagine what Unreal 6 is going to be like if it winds up being AI features where you can just basically tell the AI, hey, make a crowd of people, a diverse crowd of people, all of them carrying guns, and then it automatically populates your game with an angry mob of shooters to run through like the streets of Grand Theft Auto or something. I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I won't say every dev is to blame, but it just feels like a lot of them didn't take the time to focus on optimization. It's like, oh, ray tracing, specular highlights, occlusion or whatever, all the big buzzwords. Yeah, let's put that up first. Try to get it to run at 4K. Oh, it's only running at 32 frames. Well, make it a solid 30. We'll figure out the 60 frames later.
Yeah,
that's been this generation so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all those acronyms, man. Let's just get rid of all the fucking acronyms and games that run like butter. Let's go. All right, so I want to move on from that. So we've already talked about this a little bit the last couple weeks, but we got even more kind of hard evidence as after our show last week, there was numerous reports coming out that Forza Horizon 6 is going to be in Japan. So that seems like it's like a foregone conclusion at this point. I want to know how much city we expect. Like, what should my expectations be for Forza Horizon 6? Because I don't want to be disappointed. Because this is something I've wanted for a long time, right? I know you have too, Fuzz. Now, I was listening to some other people talk about it. this past week, and they're all saying it'll be kind of like a little quick thing, you know, like some maybe like in remember the crew when it went through America, you know, the first crew, and like they had some of the cities you go through, and it's like you go through them, it takes like 10 seconds to go through a major city. You know, some people are saying, you know, expect something like that for Tokyo. You know, but I don't know, man. My heart tells me that I mean, we're not going to get a city like behind Jasper. I don't think right now. I mean, I don't think we're going to get that massive scope, but I think we're going to get something that's a little bit more full fledged than we've gotten in the past. Um, Now, I want to know if we don't get that, will you be disappointed? Or are you just looking forward to the other aspects, like the mountains of Japan and stuff like that? Like Fuzzy, Forza Horizon 6 goes to Japan. Will it be a disappointment if it doesn't completely embrace the city street racing culture?
It won't, but it will be disappointing if I go to mod it and my account gets banned. That's well, I'll leave it at that. Like, there's some decent maps out there that people have created or borrowed from other games, and you know, some are able to work with a set of Corsa, some are able to work with BMG Drive. Possibly that would be the solution if the map doesn't have like the highway system that I'm hoping for. Like, I think the big thing is as long as they have the highway at worst, what you see in GT7 for the Tokyo Highway section, as long as they have at least that, maybe some city streets, some alleyways, some corners, things like that, and then the country mountainside, then this will be as close to a perfect game as you can get. But it doesn't have the highway stuff. I mean, they have highways in every Forza Horizon since its inception. So I would have to believe they're going to have a decent amount, so you can do like the night street races and things like that. But yeah, if they don't have it in the game from their own launch, which I think they will have a decent amount, please let us mod it. Please don't ban accounts that. I mean, I can understand if somebody's like trying to acquire every car and then sell them on the auction block. All right, that's understandable. Ban that account. If somebody wants to, add a couple of highways or a couple of buildings and some scenery and stuff like that, don't ban the account. That's all I ask.
Yeah, man. But I feel like the fact that I know, like, that we know that it's gonna be Japan, and like, we were talking about this last week, and we were joking around with 3-Bit because he was like trying to hold his tongue or whatever, and listen to some other people on some of the shows that seem like they maybe have heard something. I don't know. It's like I'm having this debate in myself, like, would I rather it not be in Japan if it's not what I want it to be, or would will I still be pleased because it's just another amazing Forza Horizon game, right? Um, Pong, will you be disappointed if they go to Japan and they don't nail it, like with the no hesi Tokyo highways and stuff?
I mean, I have to see what they pull off, right? I mean, that's hard to say. Would I be a little disappointed? Of course I would, right? It just, again, it would go against everything that team has done for every other past Horizon, which was take in the culture of wherever the setting was from. And it would only make sense that the car culture of the tuner culture is like front and center if you're going to go to Japan. So would I be a little disappointed? Yeah, but I'd still like want to see what they did. Like,
Yeah.
they'd have to have something. Again, I think to myself and I go, okay, could they make a generic Forza Horizon and basically just take 5, but take all the environments in Japan and just kind of slap them on there as
Got
kind of
cherry
like a
blossom
reskin of
trees,
5.
got
Yeah, right.
mountains.
Mount Fuji,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. Like, could you do that? Of course they could. But I don't think Horizon as a team, especially with the time they've been given, yes, I know they're working on Fable, but we're talking about 2 separate teams. I don't think they would want to do that to their reputation. They have set the standard for these car PGs, for these open world arcade racers. So I think they want to continue that because they've said all along one of their main goals is to be considered one of the best developers overall in the world. Well, that means you have to come with your A game every single freaking time. And Forza Horizon 5 was obviously their freaking A game. Right. So there's no doubt about that. They had more people playing that game than ever before. Now, everybody, when a game gets that popular, is going to have critiques. Everybody's going to say, well, it should have this, it should have that. But again, Japanese setting. This is well known. I think expectations from most car people. I'm not going to say the general people that started playing Forza Horizon 5 that never really played racing games before. I'm talking about just the car people that makes up your base of your fans. Like that are there every iteration. I think that the expectation, I think Playground knows this, that you're going to bring that tuner scene to life in Forza Horizon, and that is going to be a center. It doesn't have to be everything, obviously, but it's going to be a centerpiece of Horizon. So yeah, I'd be a little disappointed, but again, I would give Playground the benefit of the doubt
still
and
be
wait to see
amazing
what they actually
game.
did with
Yeah.
it. Of course,
100%.
absolutely, of course. Yeah.
Jasper, will you be disappointed if you can't take your Toyota and tune the shit out of it and cruise around the Tokyo highways, flash your lights at other racers and hightail it around Tokyo?
I mean, when I think Japan racing, that's what you kind of think of as those JDM kind of cars or whatever, and tuning it, making them fucking green with underglow lights or orange or whatever you want to paint them. But at the same time, like when I think of Forza, I think more kind of off-roady kind of racing. And they've never really done cities that great. Like the best one was probably Edinburgh in Forza Horizon 4. That was probably the biggest city they made. And even that, you still drive through it in 10 seconds. So I'm just not too sure how much they can evolve their city aspect. Like, I don't know if we're getting skyscrapers and stuff like that. Are we going to be racing between like little cities or like little villages? I don't know. But when you think Japanese racing, you think street racing. So it's where I'm like, I don't know how to
3-Bits
think.
giggle, right, Jasper? You heard 3-Bits giggle, right?
I didn't.
Okay. Well, he giggled and he did he's got the worst poker face ever. And he can't say, we all know that he probably knows, right? But he just can't.
Yeah.
But it sounded like that's kind of where we're going. Like they are going to do something.
I mean, if they can go next level with it, if that's going to be like, maybe because they always kind of evolve. Like 4, it was like the weather system or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like the season change, and then 5 was just like a bigger map. Like if they continue to evolve and maybe they're like, yes, this one we have major cities or whatever, and like you can like race a bullet train from one city to the next city or whatever is like one of the missions. Like that would be really cool. So I don't know if I have to see it to know if I'm going to be disappointed or not.
Right.
Yeah. Right. It just racks my brain thinking about it because it's like something I've always wanted from a Forza Horizon game. You know, they have that whole festival scene and like, you know, it's been amazing to go around and do the countryside racing and all that kind of stuff. And you got the little towns that they do and stuff like that. But to actually have like a full-fledged, blown out kind of bigger city with like a highway system and stuff like
We gonna have the DK like drifting down the mountain like in Tokyo Drift.
Oh yeah, I mean I want that too. It's got to be there too. You know,
they know how to make people now too. By the way,
yeah.
To walk around in the real world. Just gonna say it. We were making fun of 3-Bit, but they do know. I mean, they've now worked with this engine enough to have making a massive third-person RPG. So
yeah, it was weird that 3-Bit just happened to randomly mention that they know how to do that now.
Yeah. About them getting out the cars?
Yeah, right. He just randomly said that during the last show is like, you know, like yeah, they've been working on and they know how to like make people walk around now and stuff. And I'm like, we're talking about Forza, bro. Like, yeah, we know that Fable's coming. So why are we talking about people walking around?
I wonder if they're going to take anything that they got from Forza Motorsport, like the RPG mechanic of that, where like maybe they changed the way the new point system works. Instead of you getting like the skills or whatever for your car where you can get bigger bonuses, maybe you unlock new exhausts or new motors or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the way they could change that and implement some of the stuff that they had in motorsport.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully not too long. I mean, the rumors are that we're going to get an announcement at TGS.
Mhm.
It would make sense, but it'd also be kind of different than any other way they've announced Forza in the past. But if this is in Japan, then
Different
maybe
now.
it makes sense.
It's all different
So,
now. It does make sense.
other news
Oh,
we
they're gonna
got.
put it in Norway, but announce it in Japan.
And they got to bring it. It can't be boring, especially if they're going to announce it in Japan. Like, they're going to have to bring it. Like,
No.
it can't.
Oh yeah.
Like,
The
again,
lighting
that's their part
has
of their
to be
culture.
incredible. Yeah.
Bro, that's part of their culture. And I think it's a great test for Playground to Jasper's point about them never doing a city, a proper city or whatever the case may be. We've never really seen them do that. It's all been off-roading. If you want to be considered one of the greatest devs of all time, right? You're constantly challenging yourself. And that's why I said, like, I think that Playground's going to bring it. I think they might shock us. Again, there's so many examples that they can pull from that aren't really big deals anymore, Mav. We talked about this last week. Midnight Club, obviously Need for Speed Underground. Like, there's so many different examples where they can draw inspiration from the games that did it right. Tokyo Extreme Racer, obviously you and I's favorite. That I think that they're up for that challenge, and I think they probably pulled it off. And boy, oh boy, if they did, and they added some shit like 3-Bit was laughing about, like, yeah, I think that's when you start looking at Playground and going, holy shit, they're serious, man. Like, this is new.
I think that is going to be a problem they have, is like everyone's going to be comparing it to the movies or the games that they've seen
Sure.
with popular
Absolutely.
Japanese racing, and then they're going to try, they're going to want to replicate that. And
it might be why they took so long to
Yeah.
do it, Jasper. My point last weekend was, well, like, all those franchises that popularized that have been gone forever. I mean, we just got a
Yeah.
new Tokyo Extreme, but it's on PC only.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So they've been gone forever, and there's this gap that they can fill. Yes, they will get compared to it. Yes, it will put pressure on them, but your Playground. You pulled off everything else. Like, you pulled off all the other types of racing, like you said. Like, their off-roading has been really good, right? Their rally style racing has been really good. Their drifting has been really good. Their regular just street racing has been really good. All you got to do is make a good city, nighttime landscape with traffic. Now you got to add those things, but I think Playground can do it. I just really think they can do it. We'll see. It's going to be fun.
Gotta have faith.
Yep.
Well, something else that happened is Tim Lamb from Bethesda has been highlighted kind of in a video. It was like, meet Tim, right? And he had some things to say regarding the future of Starfield. I didn't catch a mention of the expansion that was supposed to have been this year, supposedly, that we didn't get, but it appears they are still heavily focused on Starfield with plenty of updates coming. Comments he said was, for Starfield, we have cool stuff coming, including free updates, features players have been asking for, as well as a new DLC story. Maybe that's the expansion.
Yep.
A part of the team has been focused on space gameplay. We're also going to add new game systems and more. So it seems like Starfield is something that's going to keep going and evolving, much like we have said for the start.
Crazy.
I remember that article that came out last year when they had launched that expansion that says Shattered Space will dictate pretty much the future of Starfield or something. Like, and I was like, what? Like, they're gonna keep putting content in. I mean, they fucking put shit tons of content in Fallout 76 when it was like a dead game, you know. Starfield's
they
never been
updated
anywhere near
Skyrim for
that.
10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
yeah. So the thoughts of it were they're going to just abandon Starfield because of some like strange negativity circle jerk that was going around. Never really made sense to me. But yeah, I'm wondering when we're going to get some of those announcements. But yeah, I mean, I'm still excited for the future of this game. It's weird is also seeing some of the people that were downplaying this game so much at launch. Now, what, 3 years after launch, 2 years after launch, hyping it up so much randomly on social media all the time.
'Cause
Talking
they
about
know it's
how they're
coming
in
to their
their
platform.
5th or 6th playthrough. That they love this game, one of the best games ever. But I remember specifically the same people right after launch was like, it's good, not great. Even replying to me commenting on things about how much I liked certain aspects of the game, downplaying.
Just like Cyberpunk. Same shit.
Yeah, for the sake of being part of the cool crowd at the time, I guess. I don't know what it was for.
The hate train is real.
But yeah, this was a game that still plenty of people are playing today and loving, even the people that said it sucked when it launched. So, excited for the future of Starfield. This leads me to actually this question, though. Will we ever see a Starfield 2?
Maybe in 2050.
2049.
2049.
Obviously, we're getting Elder Scrolls and Fallout, but then I think
Yeah.
this is right in the rotation. I think they're gonna do Starfield, of course.
Yeah.
This is a trilogy that he's always wanted. So yeah, people can hate all they freaking want. Do I think they might in Starfield 2 do things differently than they did in Starfield 1? Yeah, I think that's why they're working on all these updates. I think we're talking about. I don't know if it's going to be as big as a change as Cyberpunk was when they redid all the systems, but I think that that's what they're going to do. They're going to make Starfield 1 a test bed. They're going to take everything they learned and all the input from people that hated it and people that loved it, and I think they're going to try to make a potentially different experience as Starfield 2, but still obviously be Starfield. And I have there's no doubt in my mind. I've seen people this week calling and saying that they're not going to make another one. I think that's bullshit. I think that they will, because they're going to launch this thing, like Fuzzy said, over on PlayStation. All the PlayStation players who are Bethesda fans who were hating on this because it was an Xbox exclusive will then pick it up, whether quietly or loudly. They will pick it up and they will be playing it, and there will be another fan base opened up over there to Starfield, because it's going to be in a much better spot to a lot of people. Again, we loved it, but there's going to be in a much better spot to a lot of people than it was day one out the gate, a la Cyberpunk, right? It's got that same. I'm not saying it's going to have a Cyberpunk level, resurrection here, but what I'm saying is it's going to have a fan base that does continuously go back to it, just like all their other games. And you brought up Jasper brought their support for even games that have been said loudly they're dead is legendary. Okay, so they're going to continue to support Fallout 4, right? It sold a shit ton, but then all of a sudden everybody started hating on Fallout 4 too, because it wasn't Fallout 3, because they took out some of the RPGs. All that kind of shit went down. They continue to support it. Now Fallout 4 is beloved as well. This is Bethesda's roadmap. You can hate them all you want. You can say they're Bethesda. You can say that Todd lies about everything and that all this stuff. It's all out there. You can continue to claim that, but their support and the community built around their games are absolutely legendary, and that's not going to stop just because they stumbled with a brand new IP that people were hating on even before it launched, because people wanted Elder Scrolls or people wanted the next Fallout, and they did not want a brand new IP. It was already had that mountain to climb. Yes, it's Bethesda. Yes, it's the same style game they've always done, but this one was completely different. Todd, everybody else said, not everybody's going to like the way that we develop this game, because it is different. We're trying to do a whole universe instead of one handcrafted land. It's going to feel different. Not everybody's going to appreciate it. They knew all this going in. They are good with where it's at. People are still playing the shit out of this game. They're going to launch it on PS5. They're going to change up the systems. I imagine we probably, by the sounds of Tim did talk specifically about the space stuff. Again, the combat was already great. I imagine they're going to get that landing on a planet, seamless landing on a planet that everybody seemed to think was such a big deal. I think they'll probably pull off the No Man's Sky thing in this and allow you to do that. And I think they're going to add to the shipbuilding. I think they're going to add to the base building and make it even better. And I think they're just going to continue to work on the game. It's going to get support, and we'll have a Starfield 2.
Yeah.
Right in line. Yeah.
Right in line, 10 years 15 years from now.
I mean, again, Todd
Yeah.
could retire and then they could increase the team and they could change the production. Like again, Todd's the one who kind of controls that whole studio, right? So Todd keeps it the way it's always been. When Todd finally does retire, maybe it's potentially going to change where they go to having dedicated teams for each one of those franchises and we get them on a rolling, basis,
3
right?
years
There's always another
cycle
one,
or
right? There's
yeah.
another one always ready or about to be ready, right? I think that's certainly a possibility too, but I think that this is his main trilogy and they're not going to stop making this
Yeah.
at all.
We'll see.
There's a lot of potential here. Yeah.
What do you think, Fuzz? We get a sequel?
And I think 2050. Like they're going to focus on Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5. I still kind of want an MMO. I know there are some that aren't fans of a Starfield MMO, but I just want it where we can have our own armada of ships, almost like our own version of Star Citizen for console kind of thing. I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, I still think it's a game of the generation, not just because it's an Xbox exclusive currently that will be coming to PS5. I think it's a game of the generation. Like I said many moons ago, people will still be playing this 10, 20, 30 years down the road. What version of that 30 years down the road, we'll see. But I think they'll continue to add stuff up until, a Starfield 2 is announced kind of thing. But I probably foresee an MMO before Starfield 2, which I think would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Although hopefully it doesn't release like the way Fallout 76 did on its original release. But yeah, I think it would be the console's equivalent or competition for Star Citizen. And I think at that point, because it will be multi-platform, it will be beloved by all, and all of the seven, IGN 7s will be long forgotten at that point.
Yeah. We'll see, man. I would like an MMO just because I could imagine cruising around in a spaceship with you guys. Like we each have our stations, little mini games for the stations, and we get in space fights and we land on a planet, work on our fucking base together. I get my Aurora lab up and running, and we got to train you guys to make sure you cook it properly, and then we go out there and we smuggle some shit. I'm not gonna tell you how we'll smuggle it in because that involves gross things and stuff. But yeah.
Or I just cap you all and steal all your shit because I'm a pirate.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking Mav sees one of those pull-ups and then tries to shoot us, and then we shoot back, and his entire space lab blows up in the back of his ship.
We'll just nuke him from orbit.
I wonder if I'll still be banned on Mars because I keep on getting attacked every time I land on Mars.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love that shit.
My spaceship will look like an RV. Out just yeah, Spaceballs. Spaceball / Walter White. There you go. Jasper, we getting a Starfield sequel?
Yeah, in like 15 or 20 years probably. Unless if maybe like, I know they won't do this, but like maybe hand it like a spin-off Starfield game, like a smaller experience like Obsidian or something, to just kind of keep the world going. But I don't know.
A shout out to Mac22TH54 with the $5. Appreciate you, bro. Says, hey Mav, didn't you hear Nate the Hate said it's coming to PS5 again? He nails it every time. #broken clock. Eventually he'll get it right because you just keep saying it enough times. I think eventually it'll go to PlayStation and potentially even Nintendo if they can get it running on that thing. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know, man. But if you keep saying it, or if you just say something, and then eventually it happens, it still makes you right, and that's what they're banking on. So I don't mind Nate the Hate being right on this. The thing that will bother me more is Reforged being right on this because he was saying this a long time ago when this was like this whole argument thing between him and the entire community about specifically Starfield. Although at the time since then Xbox has completely changed directions. So but yeah, I think it'll happen, but we'll see when. Don't know if they're ready for any announcement anytime soon on that. But yeah, I think we'll get a Starfield 2 I hope they figure out some other way to work out the pipeline, because for them to, I don't know when Elder Scrolls 6 is launching. Maybe next year, maybe 2027, right? Maybe 2028. I don't fucking know, right?
I think they announced it for 27. It gets delayed to 28.
So whenever that gets released, then we gotta wait for Fallout 5, right? Then we gotta wait for Starfield if they keep a regular rotation. With how long these games take now, I mean, yeah, we'll be. I'll be like fucking almost 60 years old.
60.
60 years old. Like, finally, Starfield 2's come out. Oh my god, I wonder what they did to the shipbuilder on this one. Jasper will be making shipbuilding videos again.
Yep.
20 years from now, in the future, we'll see. The only other thing before we get
70. I'm gonna look good playing Starfield.
Oh
too.
yeah, you'll be a silver fox.
Or I might just be completely
Starfield.
bald by that time.
Probably.
Get some glasses going.
So we got one more thing. Hey, this is something you shared, Pong, about the Battlefield servers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just want to touch on this before we get into tidbits. So the Battlefield portal looking a little bit more full fledged than last time, maybe. And we're gonna be able to have persistent servers.
Yes.
What Jasper was saying, he thought that was a thing with 2042. I don't remember it being
Well,
persistent.
no, just like even Battlefield like 3 and 4,
Well,
you could
no,
like buy your own servers
You
or whatever.
could. This is included with the game purchase.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
which means it's free, which is crazy. Like they're Battlefield. Again, Zampella is listening, and what's crazy is they're like he's got to have the most power out of any single individual within EA, because I gotta believe he's calling these shots, and I gotta believe that the higher ups are not. Like they might be able to say something, but I think he is just going, no, we're going to give all, you guys want 100 million players. Okay. We're going to have to give like a lot back to this community, because all of this is nonstop great. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just think it's fantastic what they're doing here. Nobody expected this. People already were complaining about the servers that you're going to talk about, Mav. Like, oh, how is this going to work? They better be like the old ones, all that kind of stuff. We got that answered. And then to give us persistent servers included with our game purchase is nuts. And supposedly Portal is going to allow you to do even more than what we think it's going to be able to do too. That's some of the rumors today. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, it sounds really cool. Like we could have a fun speculation server and just leave it up and running.
Right.
And have our own custom maps and modes and rotation on it and shit. And yeah, I want to do that. So we'll see if we can't get that rolling. Maybe we can get like people from the community to join into the server, because like I think once it's up, anybody can find it, right?
Right.
But if we can get some good traction on it, it'd be pretty cool, man.
The only problem I had back in the day with Battlefield servers is like people could like buy their own servers and make their own servers, and if you just hit quick match, you had a chance of getting in those. But the custom servers that people made, they always ran at a lower tick rate, so they were worse servers. So I always had to go custom search for DICE servers specifically because those servers ran better. So hopefully they run the same. But
yeah, we'll see, because they're like player. So, but you don't have to be on if it's a persistent server, so it can't be just player hosted, right? So it's got to be on their own servers if they're persistent. That's why they make.
Well, they were still like on. Right? They were still on their own DICE servers, but they just ran at a lower server rate because
they didn't
have their main servers.
They're reserving resources for their for the matchmaking servers and stuff. Yeah. So I want to give this a shot though, man. Fuzzy, will you join my server?
Yeah, definitely. I got to squeeze it in between playing Division and Diablo, but yeah, I'll definitely join the server. I just got to figure out if you're going to have one where flying vehicles, preferably the jets as opposed to the helicopters, but we'll see.
Well, I'll take suggestions, guys. So you can hit me up in the DMs for the map and mode and what you want. Like, I'm thinking I want some Bad Company 2 shit in there, right? Like I want some snipers with fucking mortar, with the recon goggles where you could like zero in and like call in an airstrike or whatever, or mortar strike. I want that shit.
They just showed off mortars today, I think, in the PC video or something. So.
Did they?
Yeah, at least I got the email. It said like shows off mortars and AT-4 rockets or something.
Yeah, they confirmed that the recon class would have mortars again.
So with the goggles, those kind of mortars, or do you set it up and then
yeah,
nice.
I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Sweet. Yeah. I've put maybe a recon drone, in there as well. Throw me your ideas in DMs or something, guys, or the Discord server, because it'd be cool to have like, how many is too many maps in rotation? Like 8? 8 good?
Mav's gonna make whatever the largest map is knife only, and that's what we're gonna run.
No.
We're gonna do that.
And 20,000 tickets.
Yeah, 20,000 tickets knife only.
I want it to be legit. I want our server to be like the best OG Battlefield server.
One team only gets knives, and the other team can only control the EFD bots. So
right, double XP.
Could we?
Let's go.
I wonder if it's customizable enough to where we could almost make like a spies versus mercs mode.
You can make your own portal mode or whatever, right?
That's what they're saying. The portal is going to be that strong, man. You're going to be able to create your own stuff. So yeah, you probably could.
Interesting. All right. Well, we'll see. All right, guys. Well, you got to get out of here, Pong. Or you got enough time for tidbits?
I got enough time for tidbits.
Okay.
Like I said, between 9:15 and 9:30, so we're good.
All right, on everybody. Well, this is the last segment of the show today, and I do have the scene set up this time. So this is. Yeah, this is Tidbits, a segment where we look ahead at the games releasing for the week, and we'll see what do we have to get us started out this week. Fuzzy Belvedere.
So the first one this week is Davy X Jones, coming to early access on PC for $6.59 this Thursday.
Right on.
Already better than Skull and Bones.
And finally, need a seasoned captain. So we've got a legend, folks. Captain David Jones. Head and body sold separately. Buy one, get one free. Offer valid until reality collapses. Kraken not included. Yet.
Davy X Jones.
Oh, you had me at 666.
Ooh.
All right, this next one is a mobile game, Destiny Rising, coming this Thursday. It's free to play with in-app purchases. So you can finally get your Destiny fix on your cell phone.
Oh
I
boy.
played the beta of this like a year ago.
Was it good?
Eh.
I saw Destin liking it today. Shout out to Destin, Derek.
Nefarious curses. You know, the kind that shoots bullets from the past into the future.
If Marathon doesn't make it, this could be Destiny 3.
Who made this one? Is it Nexon?
I think it's Tencent.
No. They have it listed as something else, like a Lighten something. I can't remember the publisher.
I know
And
who they're.
yeah,
I know they're
but-
part of one of the bigger Eastern publishers.
Oh, NetEase.
NetEase. Okay.
Shout out to Web Dave, who turned 60 this week.
Woo!
wow.
I knew it was a
Congratulations,
China
Web Dave. Happy birthday, brother.
He was offended because I was cracking jokes at me being 60.
I'm not gonna catch you. Sorry, Dave.
You'll always be 8 years older than me, Dave. Or 18. Fuck, I
8?
can't do math.
I was gonna say, bro. Wait.
Yeah, I was
what?
about to
He's
say,
10
I'm
years
like,
older
I'm
than
only
me.
10 years. Yeah, 10
Yeah,
years
yeah,
away.
10 years. Me and Fuzzer, 5-0.
You'll only be 31 years older than me.
Oh, Jasper.
Shut up, Jasper.
All right, this next one kind of reminds me of my childhood of playing like arcade karate fighting games. It's called Karate Survivor. Coming to PS4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch this Thursday for $5.99.
It is good. It is very good.
Pretty cool, man.
I played a demo on PC. It is very good. It's a fun ass game. It's hard. It's hard.
Also, shout out to Rogue Prince of Persia. I was trying that out. The movement on that with the climbing is really cool. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, the environmental shit in this game is crazy. It's so much fun. You can do so much.
It kind of looks like a Karate Hotline Miami or some shit.
That's very good. It's about what it is.
Mixed with like Vampire Survivors or something. Yeah, it's nuts, dude.
Yeah, it's fun as shit, bro.
To me, this is like perfect game for one of those PC handhelds.
Yeah, you can customize your move set if you can see down on below. So you can pick which moves in what order you want them to do, and you can create your own combos. And it does an auto battler system where it goes through each one. It's really cool.
That's pretty cool. Karate Survivor.
This next one is Kirby and the Forgotten Land, coming to Nintendo Switch 2 this Thursday for $79.99. Or if you already had it on your regular Switch, it's a $20 upgrade.
This pink abomination needs to go away.
$80.
Is this $80?
I'll tell you, Kirby. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't own it already. Yeah. Bro, it's Kirby.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what exclusive gets you. $80 price tag.
Yeah, this is benefiting gamers everywhere. Fuck that shit.
I just can't, bro. I just don't understand.
Yeah,
I was watching Donkey Kong Bonanza and I just don't get it.
Yeah, I'm glad Donkey Kong was not $80, but I could see that being more worth $80 than this. But I'm more of a Donkey Kong fan than Kirby fan, so there's that.
Kirby can suck my ass.
This next one is Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, coming to PS5, Series X and S, and PC this Thursday for $69.99.
So this has been having some performance issues apparently.
I'm loyal to the end.
Unreal
on
Engine.
everything.
Is this
Start the
Unreal
conversation
5?
again.
Snake,
Yes.
I know how you're feeling. It's hard for me to believe.
I think this is the game that kind of
Legendary
prompted a lot of
hero
the
like
conversation
boss
this
goes
past
to the
week.
Russians. She double-crosses
Well,
them.
this is by Virtuos, so this is an overlay of Unreal 5 like they did with Oblivion.
Yeah.
And obviously Virtuos is now having, I mean, they're getting a bad reputation doing this, because Oblivion had some issues too.
Yeah.
So.
No, nothing like that.
Do you hate her?
For 10 years.
How
That was
bad
also
are
Unreal, right? Oblivion?
Yes, that was the Unreal Engine 5 overlay on top of Creation.
Yeah.
How bad are the performance
Don't you
issues
go getting any
supposedly?
funny
in this?
ideas.
We can't leave yet. I've still got one last job to do.
It's like Gotham Knights all over again.
Because that would be like my main benefit of playing this would be like 60 frames, Metal
We were
Gear.
together
You know
for
what I
10
mean?
years,
Like,
and now you tell me she's my enemy.
What about you, Jack?
I don't know. I
Well,
just
none of the
I had
consoles
fun.
did it.
Loyalty
I
to
had
your
fun
country
watching
or
some
loyalty
very
to
serious people and some
your
very serious
country or your
gamers
old
playing this,
mentor,
and
the mission or your beliefs.
I still got a
Your
question:
duty
what
to
you
your
guys,
unity
how
or
much you
your
guys have
personal
actually ever played
feelings.
before, man?
You don't know the truth yet.
Although I do
But
gotta
sooner or
say, I've
later
watched
you'll have
Mav
to
try to do
choose.
stealth too, and it gets so.
I'm not as patient as I used to be.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your objective.
Stealth is always optional because I'll just kill everyone anyway.
You're
Right.
a soldier.
But when you're trying to do it, Jasper, and
Yeah.
you're like terrible at it, I go.
By the way,
Anybody
we
who's
had
played stealth video games kind of knows
I've
some
been
basics.
yeah.
waiting for your birth,
had a
growth
poll going up the whole
and the
show. Most
finality of
anticipated
today.
Xbox first party release coming up. We had Ninja Gaiden 4, Outer Worlds 2, Black Ops 7, and Keeper. And the winner was Ninja Gaiden 4 with 36%. Outer Worlds 2 was a close second at 28%.
I voted
That's
Keeper,
what I
not to
voted
jinx
for.
any of them.
All right, this next one is Robots at Midnight, coming to PS5 this Thursday for $19.99, but if you have PS Plus, it's only $13.99.
I would have done the same poll for PlayStation, but all I would have had to put on there is Ghost of Yote.
Right, this next one is Super Robot Wars Y, coming to PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC this Thursday for $59.99.
It's got mechs in it, so Steel's gonna buy it.
Yep.
Whenever we see these, I try and refrain from doing my anime voice.
Yeah, because you're terrible.
I'm not terrible.
You don't enjoy anime, so it's mocking.
Is that what it comes across as? Is mocking? I like some
I know
anime.
you don't like anime.
I like Blue Eye Samurai. I watched that last season 1. It was really good.
Cool. Bandai.
This next one for PlayStation, Lost Soul Aside, coming to PS5 and PC this Friday for $59.99.
And this one has like dog shit performance too, so apparently.
I keep having the same dream. A horrible dream.
Call again?
Lost
Lost
Soul
Soul
Aside.
Aside.
Invade our
Oh.
world.
I'm gonna play this eventually. It's an action
A
game.
powerful
Not a
being
Souls-like, thank God.
falls from the sky. And when
I
it
support
seems
every
they
action
might
game comes
vanquish the
out
invaders,
that's not Souls-like.
the dream ends.
Oh, so is it like a Devil May Cry style kind of
Is
action game?
this
Kind of,
really
yeah.
just a dream? My only hope lies with you.
Because it has souls in it doesn't mean it's
Yeah.
a soul like.
Kaiser, we will travel across worlds, leap through
I wonder if
dimensions
I mean,
looks
when
together.
people see souls now, they're just gonna automatically assume, you know, especially in a game that looks like this.
This was the developer, basically a single guy for a long time. This has been in development for 10 years.
Yeah.
He was inspired by
I
Final
see
Fantasies.
great power
So
within
Final Fantasy
you,
15,
a
etc.
destiny
Yeah, it looks good.
waiting
How much
to
does
be
it cost?
fulfilled.
$59.99.
Okay.
This looks
I might
about
pick this
worth $40 more than Kirby.
Yeah, exactly.
The blade
So,
in your
like, I saw
hand.
some things about performance stuff with this game too, and some issues, but I don't really know too much about it.
It's a AA game. It's not triple.
Yeah.
I think it looks cool as shit. So.
You never
Yeah.
wanted to be a hero. But for humanity's sake, you must.
Then give me your power, Arena.
August 29th. Oh, Shinobi comes out tomorrow too. Oh, yeah.
And that's
let's
the next
go.
one. Shinobi Art of Vengeance, coming to PS4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and PC for $26.99.
I'll be all over this shit.
Such fury in your eyes.
This guy's glowing reviews too.
Another game perfect for PC handhelds.
Yeah, and Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is also really good. So to have this and Ninja Gaiden Ragebound in the same year is like pretty crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And great to have Sega
Yeah.
crushing it, which means they're going to bring more of their games back. So
Mhm.
that's good with this.
Now, was this one not Play Anywhere? I remember hearing something about a game like this that was not Play Anywhere, and I'm wondering if this one is.
I'm not sure, man. I need to look that up. I did notice on the Xbox storefront, there is a whole separate section now that says Xbox Play Anywhere.
Yes.
So you can just sit there and browse through all the games. Now, even on console, it's showing up there. Which they also had an update to make it to where Game Pass Core and Game Pass Standard players now will have cloud access also.
This is not showing up as Play Anywhere. So.
Yeah. Darn it. All right, this next one is Metal Eden coming to PS5, Series X and S, and PC this Thursday. Oh, I'm sorry, this Tuesday for $39.99.
This is looking good. I think.
I warned them of the erosion.
Or is this that?
Couldn't you help it?
Jiminous.
They didn't see it until it was too late. Maybe by wanting more than we need, we brought darkness into this world.
What's Battlefield 6's release date again? It's like October
10th.
It's time we dropped
At least 6 or something, I think, right?
That late?
release ourselves from the chains that bind us.
I remember you. What you did.
Bro, I feel like so dumb on these shows now because I used to know like everything in the video game industry off the top of my head, and now I just don't know nothing because I don't have time to see it.
I'm afraid your time
funny,
is
man.
up.
That happens to all of us at some point. It was like there was a time when I was younger when I was like just
October
reading
10th, man.
gaming news sites every fucking day. Just like all I like gaming news sites and like gaming magazines and like everything. You know?
Yeah, this looks dope. This is on PC already too, I think.
I will protect the citizens.
Yeah, this looks dope.
From
October 10th, by the way, Matt. I don't know if you heard.
Nice.
that.
Okay. September's a pretty busy month too.
Yeah. Right, and the last game for tonight is Hiragami, coming to PS5 and PC this Wednesday for $29.99 or $26.99 if you have PS Plus.
This is at was this at Gamescom or at the Future Game Show? I think it was. I saw the. This looks dope. I wouldn't play it because it's a platformer, but it just looks cool how you transform into origami. I used to do origami back in the day when I was younger.
Clearly just ripped off Mario Odyssey, so.
What hasn't?
Yeah.
Battlefield 6 is a ripoff of Mario Odyssey.
Well, cool.
And that's it.
Also note if you get the $100 version of NBA 2K, that's playable tomorrow as well. So,
Did you see that dude spent $34,000 in 2K?
yeah, I believe
Yeah.
I believe it.
There was a guy who showed off all the purchases. It's $34,000.
like back in the day with Ultimate Team on Madden. Like
So basically, he just admitted that he got scammed.
the worst thing with those two is like the next year, like and not even
It's
that.
all
Like,
gone.
you can talk about 2 weeks later. What you spent the money on isn't worthless now because like it's not within like
They
the
added a
best...
new 99 card.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then when the next game comes out, it's completely irrelevant. Nobody, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, those are the like worst, but they're so fun, man. Like I still play Ultimate Team and Madden, but I like refrain from buying things except with like the stuff I earn in the game. But man, do I want to fucking buy a bundle? Spend $100 on a bundle and sit there and open fucking cards.
Open
because
packs, bro.
it's
Fast.
fun as shit. It's addicting. It's like why the actual collectible card market is still a thing, because you want to hit that big card and you want the best thing that nobody else has, you know.
Yeah, but if you spend 34 grand, that means you have a fucking gambling addiction.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those games are built to
Pay to win.
Yeah.
like be enticing to the
Prey on
people
those
that
kind
are-
of people,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And like it's not just it's Madden, it's 2K. You know, like but some of them even work like the way that the my court thing works with NBA. Like you get the game, you go into the big city. If you go in there with a generic like 60
You're done.
overall
They
fucker
know.
that has like fucking gray sweatpants and shirt on,
They know.
yeah, you will not get picked to be on a team.
You're getting bullied,
You'll
bro.
stand in
You're
a
getting bullied.
circle. You'll stand in a circle to try and play, and the other people will fucking back out because like, no, I ain't playing with this fucker. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, so you got to spend the money at launch that if you buy the enhanced edition, whatever, comes with enough to make your guy at least somewhat decent, you know. But if you go play the my team, oh, what about all these packs that you get to make your team good? There, it is so crazy how much the sports games industry has gone to pay to win. Ultimate Team was the first with Madden, and then FIFA and NHL even, and they really did it. Then in 2K dove into it. The show does it. I will give credit to the show, and because they are the one where you can earn the most good stuff without actually having to spend money, right? But yeah, man, if you don't spend money, it's a fucking grind on those games to get the good stuff. But anyway, you can still have a good team. You can still be competitive, but it's enticing. So yeah, I feel bad for
They
that
should
guy.
just add ads to it so you can watch like 1 minute ads and get like 5 coins.
No, yeah, it's just like
Don't give them
it's the
ideas.
mobile version, man. All right. Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out with us tonight on this episode of Fun Speculation Podcast. You all rock. Thank you, Fuzzy Belvedere, for being here. Tell everybody where they can find your rambles and rants.
As always, love being on here with you guys and talking about the industry. Buy some games, enjoy your games, have fun. Yeah, just stay off social media and play games and kill that backlog before the year buries you kind of thing. But you can always find me on social media. Just do a search for Fuzzy Belvedere. You'll be able to find me. And hope to see you guys right here, same place, same time next week.
But I mean, thanks, Fuzzy. As always, appreciate you. Jasper, what about you, sir? Where can everybody find you?
Yo. I might be beaming back into space. This might be my last week, or it could be next week. I don't know. I have to look at my schedule, but I'll be in space for a month, and then I'll come back down, and I can do some shows for a little bit. So we'll see. But other than that, just Lord Jasper on Twitter. Just hit me up there if you have anything.
Yeah, right on, man. Appreciate you being here and your time here on Earth with us. It's always a pleasure, bro. And the one and only Pong Soul, thanks for being here each and every week as well, sir. Tell everybody where they can find you also on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Awesome show. Great to be here. Obviously back on Thursday night, Mav. I'm glad you are feeling better, all seriousness, Mav. So always good to see you back in good spirits and got the voice back. And obviously Jaspy and Fuzzy, love you, brothers, and great to talk with you all. You guys know how to find me. Right, real quick though, shout out to Sean Murray and Hello Games for another freaking update to No Man's Sky. If I had the time, I would go back to No Man's Sky. But
did you catch the stream when I dove back? Did you catch the stream where I dove back into No Man's Sky after not playing it forever? And I was like, bro, what the fuck am I supposed to do right now?
Right?
I couldn't figure it out. Like I was just walking around like, what am I doing right now? Like, eventually
it's nuts. Steel jumped back into it a while back last year too, and forever. But again, a team that never gave up on a game, that launched the game, overpromised, underdelivered the initial launch. I was there on day one. But man, since then, like they have more than made up. Like this game is crazy now. So, anyways, just shout out to the team. But yeah, you guys know how to find me, Pong. So everywhere, follow me. I'll follow you back. Otherwise, yes, Saturday morning, living split screen. We are going to go for about 3 hours. I got to get out at noon this weekend, but normally it's 3+ hours every Saturday. Living split screen, all one word. Myself, my brother from another, Steel Rain, go live 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. That's right, the morning crew to kick off the Saturday sermon. Saturday is a big day of podcasting. Steel and I like to kick it off early and get you from your morning to your afternoon to your evening, depending on where you are in the world. So join him and I there on Saturday. Sunday, I will not be on the Shop Podcast. I'm going to be at my mom and my sister's house, and I won't be back in time, but I'm sure PTK, Fuzzy, they're going to hold it down. They'll probably have a guest or 2 guests on Sunday. So be there for the Shop Podcast now at I'm going to screw this up because I can't think right now. 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock Central Time, Sunday, the Shop Podcast, PTK Blam. It'll be a great time, as always, over there. And then, God willing, back here for another episode of Not PM to PM Thursday night fun day special. Yeah, speculation fam time. Let's go. Next Thursday. Otherwise, yeah, I know all the different ones we can come up with. Anyways, it's the Golden Age game, Golden Age of gaming, people. So please have a great rest of your week. Have a great start to your weekend, and we'll talk to you all real soon. Play what you love what you play. Mav, get us out of here, bro.
Right on, man. Yeah, and if you guys want to check out some other stuff, go check out Sup Babe Network, which they haven't posted in a little while, but we're going to be posting some more. Hopefully we can actually get one of these podcasts filmed. So we're getting the groundwork going, getting some ideas, trying to get a show together. But once we get it going, we'll be consistent with it. So stay tuned for that announcement with me and Kate. Some stuff we're doing over there. Jasper, we're gonna miss you if you're gone for a month, man. But have fun. I'll have this to remember you by. This was when we met. You remember this? I had a picture taken. This is you.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. I gotta confiscate that now.
Yeah, this is you. And that's me, right there. You found me wandering in the woods in your little spaceship.
And then the rest I didn't probe you.
Yeah, thankfully. Thankfully. Yeah, I appreciate that. Everyone, have a good one. Take it easy. Bye.
Bye.